It's a new month, so you guys know what that means. We have to do a reading wrap up. First off, Happy New Year, you guys. I can't believe it's already 2025. That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna be 28 this year. Anywho, let's do a reading wrap up for December. We read 10 books in the month of December. I have 4 here physical, and then the rest were on my Kindle or audiobooks. So we're just gonna go through and chat about the books that I read and how I liked them. The first book that I read was the Mind series. I actually read the first 3 books of the series in the month of December. The reason that I started this book is because I'm in a psychological thriller Facebook group. I've seen this book all over the Facebook page, and so I decided to give it a try. It is a really, really short book. Each book is really short. I want to say like 150 pages. I do want to say, don't let the cover scare you from this book. It is not, the cover gives very like smutty vibes. It's not like that. In short, the book is about a woman who is a serial, unaliver, and a man who is a part of the FBI who's looking for this serial unaliver, and they end up meeting, dating, and the rest is history. We'll see where it goes from there. I'm starting book 4 now, so I like that it's a short and quick read. It's giving me very much like Dexter vibes, and I love Dexter. I would definitely recommend it, and it's a short read, like I said. So in the month of December, I also read Twilight New Moon. I read the first Twilight in November, and then for my book club, we read New Moon. I feel like I can't really give this a fair rating just because I watched the movies, or at least like 2 of the movies, when I was younger. And I just can't really give this a rating. As far as like storyline and writing goes, I would give it like a 3-star. I like the movies better, I'll say that. I also read Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. I hope I'm saying that right. This book was just a random pick for me that I just decided to read. It is a psychological thriller about a mom. We're really about a couple, but we're kind of focused on the mom, who loses her son one day. She just is not paying attention. She's just kind of in her head, I guess. And her son lets her hand go, disappears, and it's years later. We're kind of following the mom along, like I think 2 years after the incident happened. She's in a support group with other parents who have lost their kids. She kind of is thinking the worst. I'm sorry for the location change. I have to charge my phone, so now you guys get to see how messy my kids' room is. Anywho, as a mom of 3, this book gave me so much anxiety. Psychological thrillers normally give me a lot of anxiety. I don't know why I read them, why I do that to myself. They're just fun and interesting, and I like to follow on the storyline and try to figure out, what's going on. But I really do get so much anxiety, like sick to my stomach type of anxiety. And this book really gave me some. I think I gave it like a 3-star. The thing about me, when I read books, sometimes I can't tell you why I gave it a 3-star. I can't tell you exactly what I liked and disliked about this book. I just remember that I gave it around a 3-star, like 2.75 or 3-star. I didn't fully like it, but it wasn't terrible. I don't regret reading it. I feel like that's an average rating though. Like 3 is like right in the middle. So that's my rating on that. Let's move on. If you guys watched my last video, you would have seen that I did a 24-hour reading challenge. So these next 3 books were part of that 24-hour reading challenge. So first up, I read Binding 13, and I want to say this book here, you should definitely read it. Like, I absolutely love this book. One thing about me is I don't like a slow burn. I'm very much like, I need things to happen now, like give it to me now, like I need everything from the jump. Like, I cannot do the dragging along, all that stuff. But this book, I feel like I would classify it as a slow burn, romance-wise, but it still kept me interested. Like, the story, like, it was still there. Like, it took them forever. Also, the miscommunication trope was in here as well, but it's understandable because of their age and the things that, the background on the characters. It makes sense why they had the miscommunication trope. So, I don't know. It all just fit very well in this book. I absolutely love this book. It didn't make me cry. I started reading it because people were saying it would make me cry. It was a very emotional book, this and that. I was on the verge of tears, but no tears fell. So I don't count it as I cried. But it had me more angry than sad or happy or anything like that. It had me very angry. It's a little triggering. Read the trigger warnings. But yeah, I absolutely love this book. This is the first book in the Boys of Tolman series. I'm on the second one now, which is Keeping 13. 25% of the way in with that, so I will definitely be finishing that soon. I'll let you guys know how I like it. I think I gave this a 4.5 star. Pretty sure I gave this a 4.5 star. Would definitely recommend. You should definitely go read it. It is a big book, okay? It's already, look, let's compare. Compared to the normal size book, it's already taller. has more pages. It's about 570, I think. And the words on the pages are tiny. So all that combined makes it a really big book. It has a lot of words in this book. Moving along, the next thing that I read was Killjoy by Holly Jackson. I went to Barnes & Noble one day to spend a gift card that I got and just happened to stumble across this book. And I was like, sure, why not? Really small book. It's actually a novella. And it is 110 pages, I want to say. If you read the A Good Girl's Guide to... I don't know what I can say on YouTube. But if you read A Good Girl's Guide, then this is kind of along the storyline, has the same characters. It's kind of a fun book because it's following Pip at like a murder mystery dinner party where she's like doing her investigator thing, you know, all that. I like the ending. I will say the ending was, I enjoyed the ending. I enjoyed the whole book, but because it's a novella and it wasn't anything like too serious, you know, it was just like a fun murder mystery, like nothing crazy was happening. I didn't give it a rating. It's like, I literally didn't give it a rating on Goodreads. I just marked that I read it and that was it. Would I recommend it? If someone wants a short book to read, yeah, I would recommend it. I'd be like, oh yeah, pick this one up. It's a fun read. But other than that, I mean, yeah, like I don't know. But I mean, it was good. If I had to give it a rating, I'd say like 3.5 or 4 star for what it is. The next book that I read, actually, it was an audiobook, and it was a part of the 24-hour reading challenge, was Listen for the Lie. I listened to it as an audiobook, one, because I was cleaning during the 24-hour reading challenge, and I was trying to keep myself awake, so I had to do an audiobook as I cleaned. But also because I heard that if you're going to read Listen for the Lie, you should definitely do it on audiobook. Obviously, I didn't try to read it as a book, like me reading it, but I will say the audiobook was definitely very enjoyable. So the book is basically following along a girl who can't remember one night. She's accused of unaliving her best friend, but she can't remember anything that happened that night. There is a podcaster who starts researching into it, and just listening to the audiobook makes it fun because of the podcast element. I will say the girl was very unhinged. Like the first chapter, when she was like doing her whole internal monologue, I was like, girl, are you okay? Are you well? But no, the book was good. I enjoyed it. I definitely think that the audiobook made it better. I can't remember what I rated it. I want to say a 4 star. I'm not gonna lie, I give out 4 stars very easily because I just enjoy reading. If I don't see anything like too wrong with the book, like I'm not gonna go in and be like, oh, I don't like how they did this and that and blah blah. Like, you know, if I like the storyline, I'm gonna give it a 4 star. Like if I felt like I got everything I needed from the story, it's probably gonna get a 4 star. I would recommend it. It was a fun read. Next book I read on vacation, and it was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This was my first book by Abby Jimenez that I read, and I loved it. I loved it. It has a sticker on it, and we're gonna have to get that off. Gotta love when they put removable stickers. Yes. This book was basically about a girl who reads a Reddit thread about a guy who, basically the background is he feels like he's cursed because everyone he dates ends up marrying their true love after they break up. He puts that in the Reddit and she reads it. She messages him because she's like, oh, same, that happens with me. And so they decide to meet up and basically date each other to break the curse, and then split and find their true love. We're following along their summer of doing that. It was actually a really, really cute read. I loved the MMC absolute, what a gem. What a gem, I just love them. But yeah, I would recommend this book for sure. Definitely like a 4 or 4.5. I'd say a 4 star, definitely a 4 star. The next book that I read was The Next Mrs. Parrish. I wasn't gonna read it because I read The Last Mrs. Parrish months ago, and I didn't really like it, only because I had already read, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I would say I already read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and you know, there was some stuff in it that I was like, oh, that's a little much, like a little bit triggering, but it was like, for what it was a good read. It didn't shock me because it was so similar to other books I read. Also, The Last Mrs. Parrish, that's a tongue twister. The Last Mrs. Parrish was a slow burn. The first like half of the book, I just felt like it was repeating a lot of the same stuff. Nothing was really happening. So I wasn't gonna read the following book, which was The Next Mrs. Parrish, but I was on vacation and I was like, why not? Like I didn't bring any books, so I just had my Kindle and I was like, sure, let's just read it. The audiobook was also free through the Libby app, so I like to tandem read. And I know this is very rare, but I will say, me personally, I liked the second book better than the first. I liked the next Mrs. Parrish better than the last Mrs. Parrish. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Those are the 10 books that I read in the month of December. I do want to ask you guys, what was your favorite book of 2024? Feel free to comment it down below. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are still watching up until this point, thank you so much. Feel free to subscribe if you like book content. Let me know your favorite book of 2024, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Say bye.
Bye.